Evening. So what a May it's turning out to be. We know the makeup of the new government, we know the identity of the Premier League champions, but there's still plenty to be decided in the Football League. And tonight, one team will be a step closer to the riches of the top flight. Well, Steve Claridge will be wearing his Leicester colours this evening, and in the interest of balance, Lenny Lawrence will be flying the Cardiff flag. And needless to say, Lizzie will be sitting firmly on the fence, won't you, Lizzie?
Yes, firmly on my kind of desky sort of fence, because sadly the playoffs are just a distant dream for the likes of me. So fans of Blackpool, Forest, Leicester and Cardiff, let us know how it feels. Tell us your stories of the semis. You can text us on 81111 or send us an email to footballleague@bbc.co.uk.
So tonight it's all about a day out at Wembley and the ultimate prize, a place at the top table. This Peter Whittingham goal gave Cardiff a valuable win at Leicester on Sunday. Could they extend the advantage and march to Wembley, or would Leicester return the favour? And we reflect on a great night for Blackpool, who are off to Wembley after ending one of the best home records in the league. Well, they say familiarity breeds contempt, so would that be the case in South Wales tonight, where Cardiff and Leicester locked horns for the 5th time in 4 months? But this evening's playoff semi-final second leg was the one that really matters, with Cardiff holding a 1-0 lead. Your commentators for this one, Mark Bright and Alistair Mann.
Cardiff City seeking a third trip to Wembley in 3 years against a Leicester side who've never failed to reach a playoff final on the 4 occasions previously they've competed in them. Well, there's no greater testament to Dave Jones' satisfaction with his side's performance on Sunday than naming the same 11 and even the same substitutes. There was a doubt regarding Chris Berg, but he's past fit. Anthony Gerrard hasn't made it though, so Darcy Blake continues to deputise at centre-half. The 2 changes made by Nigel Pearson show his intent. Steve Howard back from suspension, and Matty Fryatt replaces Martin Waghorn and Jay Spearing. He needs goals and opts for their experience to get them. A goal advantage, home advantage, but Dave Jones has been stressing that the job is far from complete. Well, Mark Bright alongside me, Leicester are going for it too on their part. So are you expecting another dramatic night of playoff action?
Well, if it's anything to go by from last night, then drama is at hand. But you know, Nigel Pearson's picked a very attacking side. He's gone with his experience. Matty Fryatt and Steve Howard back from suspension, and I think he's hoping that Fryatt just can reproduce some of that form he had before he got injured and in front of goal. But, you know, 1 goal in a situation like this, it is nothing, I can tell you.
And already Cardiff on the attack with Bothroyd. Trying to find Burke, it was cleared by Bruce. The noise around the stadium befits the occasion. Love them or hate them, the playoffs generate probably the most unique feelings of any match, and Whittingham could make those feelings run even higher, and maybe he ought to have done. It was a simpler chance than those that he's been taking with such regularity.
This is great vision from Michael Chopper. Look at Roberto Solano, top of the screen. He has no idea there where Whittingham is. He's just watching the ball. That's lack of experience at a right-back position, and here just needs a bit of composure.
Here's Burke. Drifts inside. And Leicester trying very hard not to give him the opportunity to bring him down. Here's Kennedy offering some width. Second chance maybe. Whittingham. Already the feel that it's going to be an end-to-end evening. Neither side can say they've wrested the initiative. That's a foul. You've got to make those. If you don't get the ball, you're asking for trouble. He didn't. Gets away with a final warning.
Well, that sets a precedent.
It is Whittingham, and it was on target, and Wheel went from where he was protecting to where the wall was protecting to parry it away.
That's a very good save. You can clearly see it's going in, and look at the goalkeeper, he starts to anticipate, he's moving that way. It's a very good save.
It's their first championship playoff. They lost the Division 3 playoffs in 1997 at the semi-final stage, lost the League One semi-final playoffs in 2001, so this would have to be third time lucky for them to finally reach the playoff finals at the end of a campaign. And that's another good touch for Chopra! And Michael Chopra makes it 1-0, 2-0 on aggregate, and a Cardiff heading for the Championship final.
This is all about Bothroyd again. Little shimmy, look at that. No central defender anywhere near him. The header there, is he onside? Yes, he is, he's level. Keeper doesn't need to come. He's got cover there with the centre-back just right up tight. And this, just by coming, makes it easier for Chopra. He keeps it low, does ever so well. Well, that's going to be a great advantage now.
There's a measure of control about Cardiff. There's a little more desperation now about Leicester. The only thing you can say is that they've got 20 minutes of the first half plus the second half still to go. And away goals don't count.
No, they've got over an hour, and there's a lot can happen there.
And here's Fryatt, and they're back in it. It's going to creep over, and just as we were saying that there was still time for them to mount a comeback and that away goals don't count, Fryatt brings them back in.
It's the same combination, two strikers here. Played up front, watch Howard, little flick, and that's just good running off the ball. And as you said, this guy in front of goal is really, really calm. I have to say that Mark Hudson, the defender, doesn't go with his runner. He just lets Fryatt go. It's a good finish.
Headed away by Bruce. Solano was caught by Bothroyd. Is that going to be another yellow card?
Yeah. Well, Solano's done him a favour there. He's jumped straight on his feet.
Oh, it's gone in! I think it might be an own goal, is it? Well, off Hudson. The Leicester players celebrate out of nothing.
Oh, look at this. A silly free kick. Look how deep they go here, how deep they go. Howard wins the first. And then just think comes off the back of Hudson's head. I think Fryatt's the closest one to him. But they're dropping too deep. Howard, clean header, nobody's near him. And then, yeah, you're right. Mark Hudson, it just hits him on the back of the head. And they're just far too deep. And this game has just spun around in just a few minutes. Amazing turnaround. Amazing turnaround. They came to the game with a goal advantage, get one early. All of a sudden, everything's looking rosy. All of a sudden, they're going back in it. Oh, look at the chairman. It's been an exhilarating first 45 minutes, and I just said that playoff games rarely disappoint you. Because they're so tense and they're so end-to-end. There's always a few mistakes and a couple of sendings off usually, and it's lived up to the billing.
And here's Burke, right at the start of the second half. Burke on target. Wheel gathered it in fairly tidily in the end. Here's Solano. Up towards Howard again. Still Howard, and Fryatt. Corner.
Howard's causing so much trouble. Good chest control, good stretch. Now he just holds off. McNaughton comes inside, leaves it to Fryatt. That's a good block.
Cardiff 1, Leicester 2, 2-2 on aggregate. Gallagher's corner's a poor one. Away by Bothroyd. Gallagher maybe he'll get a second chance. Well, that chance was almost closed off by Chopra, but he has put it in, and it's turned in by King. And now it's Leicester who have 1 foot in the final.
Well, this is an awful corner. It's a terrible clearance by Jay Bothroyd as well. Doesn't get any distance on it. This is bad defending from Chopra. Look at that, sells himself short. And then it's all about, do they push up or stay in? They stay in. It's an absolutely free header. Nobody challenges whatsoever. And it's in the back of the net.
Well, the tie seemed to be in Cardiff's grip. It seemed to be going all their way. They missed a couple of chances, but got the one that appeared to be decisive to make it 2-0 on aggregate. But since then, Leicester, well, they have just never, ever given up, and they are now back in front. But there is still 40 minutes or so to go, and Cardiff have a corner.
I think it's very important now that Leicester stay focused and concentrate.
Oh, it's well worked. Kennedy blocked. Clever corner. Almost.
Exceptional. It's rare you see one of those work moves off the corner. It nearly came off. It was an excellent defensive block in the end.
Burke delivers again. It's a dangerous ball in. Here he is again. Cardiff looking for an immediate response. Well, they're trying to get immediately back into the game, immediately back onto level terms. Here's Dyer. It's a good little hook into the area, an awkward bouncing ball, and McNaughton can only turn it behind for the corner. Rather than controlled. Hobbs, good touch. Oh, it was almost for Fryatt. It's almost for Howard. It's off the line. Goodness me, what are they doing?
He just defended terribly. Marshall's pushing and pulling, but I don't think anybody's doing anything wrong there.
Nottingham again.
Cross.
It's not coming. Well defended. Gallagher in the way. Here's Solano. Lovely ball. Goodness me, that needed cutting out by Hudson. And that's not a bad ball in either. And there's hesitation. Is it a penalty? Yes. Chopra brought down, and this topsy-turvy game gets right back into Cardiff hands again.
This is just hesitation. You can see, he just thinks the goalkeeper's coming. He doesn't. There's a click of the ankles there. Down he goes.
How crucial might this spot kick be? We shall see. It's level again on aggregates. It's 3-2 on the night.
Well, this is the through ball here. The ball goes through. Now you can just see, if he just waits for the goalkeeper, now it's a centre-back, you have to go and deal with it. Well, straight down the middle.
McPhail, Kennedy. Now Bothroyd, there are gaps appearing. Bothroyd's going to try and exploit one of them. Bothroyd! Off the bar! Brilliant from Bothroyd.
But just look here. This point here, nobody dared challenge him. You dared put a foot there. I think it was King who was tracking. Watch him. Oh, no, he daren't do it. Because he's trying to give away a penalty, and Bothroyd there. So close.
Bothroyd just caught, was he? It's gone down after King's challenge.
That's the ankle that he had strapped as well, the left one. I think Howard Webb's dishing out the cards now.
King, the scorer of the third goal.
I think he's saying I hardly touched him. Whether there was enough contact there on Bothroyd's bad leg to make him... Here we go, is he late? Oh, dear, it's minimal, isn't it?
Cardiff free kick. Time ticking away. We're in next goal wins territory. And it's onside! And it's off the line! Just by Hobbs.
Missed by both the defenders. Great touch, you have to say, from Chopra. Hobbs doing what every defender should do. Get back to the line as quick as you can.
Fantastic noise being generated in the Cardiff City Stadium. The biggest fixture that this new stadium has staged. It could be staging 19 unforgettable ones if Cardiff can find another goal here through Chopra. He's brought down right on the edge of the area. He invited the challenge and it came.
Is it here? Yeah. It's such a silly foul.
There's almost a strange hush descending on the stadium. Everyone holding their breath. What a moment this could be! Off the bar by Whittingham.
Well, my theory of floating it just went completely out the window. He just hammered that. That's Jay Bothroyd and Whittingham within a few minutes, isn't it? A great strike from Whittingham. We just know what he's got. Hits the bar flush, and look at that. Comes out 20 yards. I say, it's so difficult to just keep that down. You come to the part of the stage, the part of the game now where you don't want a mistake to settle. You'd rather some individual brilliance, because both teams have played really well. Does someone deserve to win the game? Not really, but there has to be a winner. This is where he's talking about, shall I get James Vaughan on?
Well, he might not need anyone.
Oh.
Howard! Oh, that's a fantastic save from Marshall. Oh, you can't underestimate how good a save that was.
Well, he has a couple of bites of this one, doesn't he? Oh, this is a shot here, comes in from King. Howard just the outside of the foot, and you just have to say Marshall just anticipates and does it ever so well, pushes it away from goal.
Michael will keep it in play and he'll win a corner. And Cardiff haven't been good at defending corners.
We're coming to that time now. A bit of quality on the cross. The quality finish could decide it right now.
Stoppage time. Michael's delivery, and it was almost sneaking in. Concentration was good from Marshall.
No one on the near post. Keeper Marshall comes, oh my goodness. I thought he did well to just keep it out. And as you can see, it's an awful punch.
Whittingham with the delivery. Bothroyd's in there. Tiredness takes him to the ground more than anything else. And that is it, I think. Yeah, we're going to extra time. McPhail. Now McCormack taking on Solano. That's a body check from Solano, and has he been booked? Yes. I think he has.
Yes.
That really is final warning time now.
It is. Just an obstruction, isn't it?
He's firmly driven it.
Just behind everybody.
Well, there are claims that there was a touch on that.
Well, there was a touch, but I think that there's somebody shouting handball. Not too sure.
Oh, it's Solano, is it? Solano jumps up with the elbow pointing away, and it does catch him on the arm. McPhail. Now Bothroyd. McCormack demanding the ball. Here is McCormack. Goes for goal, and well, it needed saving, and Wheel got there.
See McCormack just a shrug of the shoulders. He's not sure if it's going in or not, but he's prepared to have a shot. He's just come on. I tell you, that was going into the far corner.
The two players still seem to have more energy than others. Here's one, Chopra. Busy little stride of his, a two-hoo. A two-hoo! Beaten away by Wheel. McCormack's hands are on his head because I think he was hoping to get the ball.
Well, Calvin O'Toole doesn't even look at him, does he? He just goes down the line and he drives at that near post. People can't look, can they? It's too painful.
Is that Wellens trying to dig deep? He's doing his best. Not a bad ball either, you know. Here's Spearing. That's a good cross as well. Waghorn! Oh, it was not quite the control he was looking for.
Should have done better. Should have done better. Spearing does ever so well here. Just persistence, really. You can just see on the edge of the box, Howard's coming up there. Would he have been better squint to Howard? Decent chest trap, but it's a poor finish. Well, part of me feels that it should go to penalties now. It'd be very sad for one of them to lose at right at this stage. But you know, in the penalties, there has to be a hero, there has to be a villain. There we go.
Penalties it is. 3-2 it finished at the end of 90 minutes. 3-2 it finishes at the end of extra time. And Messrs Marshall and Wheel had the least pressure of anyone because we're going to penalties to see who joined Blackpool in the Championship playoff final. The first penalty for Leicester City. Bruno Bernat, the left fullback, tucks it very calmly into the corner with Marshall going the other way.
Just the start you need, nice and composed. There's nothing the manager can do at this stage now but hope.
Michael Chopra, an experienced penalty taker, shows all that experience and levels it at 1-1.
Well, it's a huge relief for the crowd, isn't it? They go from high to low, to cheering to booing.
Steve Howard's turn, another man with experience of penalty taking, and another man who shows that experience when it matters, going through the routine he's done so many times.
A very confident penalty, very confident, very assured of himself, knew what he was doing with it.
Ross McCormack to level the count at 2-2. Which he does. 4 good penalties.
4 excellent penalties, very confidently taken. You come to the stage now where you just feel if this one doesn't go in, the tide starts to turn in favour. And Roberto Solano, so experienced.
Well, you just knew that Alberto Solano would be one of the penalty takers. 35 years old, and there was never a doubt from the moment he stepped up.
I'll tell you, we could be here all night with these as well. The confidence of which the players are taking them belies just what's gone ahead for the last, what, 90 plus 30.
(3-2), Ledley's turn. Oh, just the first time I think that a goalkeeper's got close, but it's in.
Bottom right. This is it now. This is it now. Very casual.
Jan Kermorgan, the 28-year-old Frenchman. Oh no, it doesn't work. When it doesn't work, you feel foolish. When it does, you showed just how calm you can be in a crisis.
I can categorically tell you now, in a situation like this, that is not required. That is not required. I mean, it's just such a woeful penalty.
You've got to get those right when you go for them. And when you don't, your teammates wonder. That's how you take a penalty, says Mark Kennedy. You pick your corner and you put it in it.
Well, this one has to go in. Has to go in now. Well taken from Kennedy. But look, not a friend in the squad. Not a friend in the squad.
Martin Waghorn has to score to keep Leicester in the playoffs. He doesn't. It's saved by David Marshall. Cardiff City are going to Wembley. It's cruel that either of these sides should end with tears in their eyes, but someone had to. Martin Waghorn on loan from Sunderland, and he'll return to the Premier League, but he will not turn and forget his contribution for Leicester City. They came against the odds. They were 2 down on the night, but they turned it around, and it seemed at one stage that it was they who would go to Wembley to meet Blackpool. But it's Cardiff City who will take on Blackpool.
Fantastic game. I'm sure there was a lot of nervous people within the stadium, but I mean, it's a fantastic way to win, but it's a horrible way to lose, and I've been there as well. So I'll take the good, because sometimes I've got to take the bad as well.
You know, I have to look at the bigger picture. I know how far we've come this year. We've developed as a squad. It's going to be difficult to reproduce that again, of course, but we'll allow the dust to settle somewhat, and look forward to another season. Although the expectation levels, I'm sure, will be a lot higher next year.
Did you have to ask for penalty takers?
No. It was just give me the order, and I can go right up to 9. It was the 10 and 11 I was worried about.
When Marshy saved their first one, don't know what the lad was thinking, but in a penalty shootout, trying to dink the keeper, it doesn't seem right. But give credit to Marshy, he's pulled off a couple of saves, and we've gone on to win it.
Yeah, so well done to Cardiff. So what a game! Both sides gave absolutely everything, didn't they, Lenny?
Fantastic game. Cardiff got off to a great start, obviously. It looked as if Leicester had rescued it and turned it round completely in about 20 minutes either side of half-time. And then that penalty in normal time, that was the turning point, I think, when that got Cardiff back in it, got the scores level, and then it came down to the lottery of a shootout. But it was a fantastic advert for the playoffs.
Totally, it was open, nobody was shy going forwards. But, Steve, what was Jan Cormigant thinking when he was taking his penalty? Would you have done something like this?
No, I mean, if you're 3 or 4 up, there's no pressure on, but not in these circumstances. It'd be easy for us to sit here and slaughter him. He's going to have to, he's going to have an uncomfortable time now for the rest of his spell at Leicester, because he's got to live with that. You miss penalties, there's ways of missing penalties, and that is not one of them. And as I said, under those circumstances, it's unforgivable. But as I say, you live and learn. He's 28 years old, though. That's the bit.
And it heaps a lot of pressure on what was already a hugely pressurised situation for Martin Waghorn.
Yeah, Martin took his and it was saved, and I think people forgive that. The goalkeeper read it early and made a good save, and obviously the boy was distraught afterwards. But it's arguable that the miss previously put him under a little bit more pressure, obviously, because he absolutely had to score that.
You must be delighted for your old club, Lenny.
Yeah, to be fair, after the way they fell out the playoffs right at the last minute at the end of last season, when that happens normally, you have a real bad time following. But to be fair, they've shown great spirit and character and togetherness, and that new stadium has helped them, and they've had a great season, and they're going to be there.
Yeah. As for Leicester, Nigel Pearson said there, time to regroup, but they have had a terrific season nonetheless.
They have. I mean, they've exceeded all expectations. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I had them down for 10 to 15. Anything above 10th I thought would be a fantastic year. That's the way it's proved. Unfortunately, now they've got to do it all over again, and he knows probably next year expectations, a little bit more pressure on them. But no, he's proved what a good manager is, and if he gets the backing he's had this year, let's hope they can emulate what they've done again. OK, well, time to find out then how many Cardiff fans are out celebrating and how many have got in touch with us. So, Lizzie, what can you tell us?
Well, actually, we've had more Leicester fans who are upset, as you'd imagine, obviously, than we've had Cardiff fans. I've just got quickly whip that out of the printer. I asked you, of course, to tell me how it feels to be in the playoffs. Dan says, I don't know how to feel. I'm still trying to get over it. They put us on the edge of our seats. I hope we get there. Tegwin says, bring on Wembley for the mighty Bluebirds. Then make way for Wales' first Premier League team. D says, Cardiff definitely going to the Premier League. I will be there at Wembley to cheer them on. An anonymous one here saying, some very nervous moments, but we created more chances and held out our nerve for the penalties. But as I said, lots more Leicester fans. Gutted is pretty much the word that everyone's coming up with. Tom says, unbelievable. I could actually cry, but what a true gentleman Nigel Pearson is. He says it like it is, wishes Cardiff and Blackpool luck, and stays cool and calm no matter what the final score is. Daniel says, I can't believe the dream is over for Leicester. I really hope they come back stronger and win the Championship next season. Well done, Pearson. An anonymous Leicester fan watching in New Zealand says, I'm gutted and now I've got a whole day at work to try to be happy. Rich, though, Leicester fan says, absolutely depression for Leicester fans tonight, but next year we'll be back and we will be better. And Rochelle says, we might all be feeling a bit down now, but just think of next season. Be proud, not angry. And Jono says, if we hang on to Nigel and quality young players like Hobbs, who he says is a future England centre-half, we will be in the top 2 next year. And finally, Chris, another Leicester fan, just says one word, proud.
OK, thanks, Lizzie. Well, Cardiff, as we mentioned just then, go on to meet Blackpool at Wembley on May the 22nd. After the Tangerine season got even better last night, defending a 2-1 lead, Ian Holloway's team put in a scintillating performance to overcome Nottingham Forest, who last lost a home game 19 games ago.
Gunter. Blackstock. Mayuski trying to thread into the path. It's Robert Earnshaw! Blackstock with a little ball infield. Mayuski tried to play it through and it wasn't cleared properly. And Robert Earnshaw, back in the starting 11 for Nottingham Forest this evening, has repaid his manager's faith. And towards Ormerod. DJ Campbell now. Goalkeeper's come for it. DJ Campbell! Blackpool are back in front on aggregate. The poor clearance from Camp, and he was punished. Look at the space on this near side. Camp comes to try and get it, and it's a delicate ball past the goalkeeper from Campbell. You can feel the tension all around the City ground. Earnshaw tries to get on the end of it. Earnshaw! The ball's played in. Blackstock with a little touch on, and Earnshaw was there in exactly the right place. That was an unstoppable shot. Craney. Vaughan. Dobby! Deflected! In! Stephen Dobby! What a fantastic substitution from Ian Holloway! And the substitute has scored for Blackpool. The City ground is almost silenced, except for 2,000 Blackpool supporters in the corner. Blackpool, who have now quarter of an hour plus stoppage time to hold on to this overall advantage, or maybe even increase it. Here's DJ Campbell. Dobby makes the run ahead of him. Dobby, back to Campbell! It's another one for Blackpool! Terrific build-up play from the visitors. Dobby and Campbell interchanging passes, and then just when it looked as though a tackle was going to be made on DJ Campbell, he flights it past the defenders, past the goalkeeper. His second goal of the night. It's another for Blackpool. Dobby. It's Stephen Dobby. Save from the goalkeeper. Offside, is it? No, it isn't. It's a hat-trick for DJ Campbell. The night is going from bad to absolute worst for Nottingham Forest. Dobby with the shot. He's onside there, Campbell. Everyone stood still. Everyone looked to the assistant. No flag came. And Blackpool have taken charge of this playoff semi-final second leg. Oh, it's been missed by the defender. Chance for Adebola. Excellent defending. Anderson, Adebola. It's no more than a consolation. Blackpool are going to Wembley.
So Blackpool's fairy tale of the season continues, 90 minutes away from the Premier League, and they weren't shy in going forward, particularly away from home. Ollie stuck to his principles, didn't he?
He was bold and brave. He was in his tactics and his strategy, and he went for it, and it worked for him. And credit to him, he's come up with a fantastic game plan over the two games. And when in doubt, attack.
Yeah.
And he's done it, and the players have implemented it brilliantly.
Even at 2-1 down.
Yes.
Easiest thing in the world, we'll take a step back, we'll protect what we got, and we'll take extra time. But he didn't. He went, I'll tell you what, come on, let's go again. And they did.
I'll tell you what, there will be one Leicester player who will be hugely relieved this evening and delighted. DJ Campbell. He will be able to play at Wembley now in the playoff final, and he goes in on the back of a great hat-trick.
Yeah, and manager Ian Holloway would have been highly delighted, because this is a run across the back four. I mean, either generally they'll step up, you might get caught offside. If you time it, your diagonal run. Then it gets you in, which it did, and it's a good finish. He's been on great form. I think it's 11 goals with this hat-trick in 17 games. That's a fantastic finish. Great play from Dobby as well. Nice little weight on the ball, and You know, he looks every time he gets near to the box. You look at this, a lovely little touch. That touch has got to be perfect. There's too much weight on it, the defender gets a touch. If there's not enough, he's got to take another one, he gets closed down. So important part from Dobby. And that's a goal scorer's finish. There you go. Right place, right time. I'll anticipate it better than the defender, where this ball's going to go. Second phase. He stays on side, looks along the line. It's a cool finish in the end.
Lenny, you know Ollie, of course, from your club links.
Yep.
Are you surprised by what he's done?
I think he's done a magnificent job there. You know, he's in his element there when he's got a smaller club and he's up against the odds and he's overturned the odds. He has. He's done a lot of things in his life from a managerial point of view, Holly. But it's funny, what goes around comes around. At Cardiff 7 years ago, in the League One playoff final, when I was a manager of Cardiff, we played QPR in the final. Guess who was the manager of QPR at the time?
Yeah, Ollie.
Ollie. So he's back in against Cardiff,
yeah,
albeit one league up. So that's going to be fascinating on the day.
As for Forest, Billy Davies said afterwards his young players froze when it really mattered. Do you agree with him?
I'm not sure they froze. I mean, they gave a good account of themselves. I think it was another one. I think the pivotal moment was the own goal again. It took them back to 2-2. All of a sudden, they started to chase a game of football again, left themselves a little bit open at the back, one or two mistakes, and boy, were they punished. But yeah, it does rest on one or two slight occasions in a game, pivotal moments, and things can change very, very quickly.
Well, both Blackpool and Forest fans have had 24 hours to digest that game last night. So what have they been saying to you, Lizzie?
Well, Blackpool fans, Manish, have been dominating the texts and emails. And actually, not just from Blackpool fans. We've had congratulations from all over the Football League, and not necessarily those with an axe to grind. Stugg says, he's an almost 40-year-old Blackpool fan in a world of disbelief at these dizzying heights. Jed says, living the dream of a roller coaster ride that I don't want to stop. Steve says, best match for 40 years. Stuart says, no longer will be called Little Blackpool. And actually, that's a bit of a theme to that. A lot of people said that. Akeem says, you got to say it's all down to Ollie and his backroom staff. Without them, we would be mid-table. But spare a thought, of course, for Forest fans. Sarah from Bradford said, I went to the game last night. The lads played well. Such a shame about the result, but let's concentrate on next season, lads. Wish Blackpool all the best. Total respect for Ian Holloway and his team. And Rob says, I'm gutted, but if you said we'd be in the playoffs at the start of the season, we would have bitten your hand off. So proud of the mighty Reds. It's going to be a fantastic final, though, isn't it?
It certainly will be. So it is Blackpool v Cardiff at Wembley Stadium on May the 22nd for the right to play in the Premier League. And we've got highlights of that at 11:25 on BBC One. But before that, join us next Tuesday for the best of the League One semi-finals. Plus, we'll also show you the action from the League Two semi-final first legs, and all that on BBC One at 10 to midnight. Well, that's your lot for tonight. Thanks to Steve and to Lenny. Lenny, great to have you in this evening. So after a dramatic night, it's Cardiff who are through to the playoff final to face Blackpool. Neither have played in the Premier League, which is now within touching distance for one of them. From all of us, good night.